This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Wednesday. I guess it's Wednesday. Don't really give a damn what day it is. Another bad email. I don't read all the good emails because it's kind of self-serving. I'd rather read the bad ones because I think my enemies listen more than my friends. Kern, the show that the gentleman used the N-word, and I don't throw that N-word around. I don't use the N-word. But you can say nigger. You can say hunky. You can say cracker. You can say spick. As long as you don't direct them towards somebody, because that's a word. That's a word. So anybody says we can't use those words are crazy. And remember, hate speech is protected under this great Constitution. Nobody complains about like speech. Everybody likes it. They complain about hate speech. And Kern, they listen to my show every day. They filed a complaint with the FCC. They transcribed my whole show. Took a secretary, how much money? I must be living in their head rent-free, in their idiot, empty heads rent-free. Here, Kern, I got to ask you. What can I describe you as? The big faggot? I got to ask you, Kern. And we're going to talk about it. People are burning flags. You're not talking about the people burning flags. You don't give a damn about this country being destroyed. You don't give a damn about these asswipe idiots burning the flag. You don't give a damn about the brave military heroes that died, gave their lives, so me and you both can have freedom of speech. You don't give a damn about that. You try to silence me because I talk about you. I expose you for what the hell you are, you no good son of a bitch. Now, transcribe that, will you? I'll say it again, you no good son of a bitch. Have your These people, Sprague and Kern, and the democratic culture of corruption in St. Clair County people, they're obsessed with me. They listen every day. They're probably my most loyal listeners. And I want to thank them for that. But if you idiots think you're going to stop me from speaking, you can file complaint after complaint. It'll go through the system. It'll take 2 years, 4 years, 6 years. Hell, we'll all be dead before it's ever resolved. But remember, the great United States Constitution, you stupid ass idiots. And I'm talking about Kern and Sprague and the boys in Belleville, the St. Clair County democratic culture of corruption. You think you're badasses. You tried to stop me when you had me arrested for allegedly stepping on Mrs. Kern's property. You see how embarrassed you were there. 3.5 years cost the taxpayers $150,000, the hardworking taxpayers. And I beat the case in about 3 minutes. The jury was out 3 minutes. They laughed at these people. Kern wouldn't even show up, send his wife and his son in to do his dirty work. So if you think you're going to stop me with some bull crap complaints, you're nuts. See, even the FCC, this great country of ours, they know about the First Amendment. You guys know about the First Amendment when it benefits you. But if it doesn't benefit you, that nobody should have. See, you guys think you're more powerful and more important. I'm talking about you guys, Kern and Sprague, and the democratic culture of corruption in St. Clair County. You guys think you're more important than our great United States Constitution? And they actually believe that, people. You know, they're in la-la land. They've had control of this county and have screwed this county and screwed all of us for so long. They think they're above the law. Now, if the law would really come into St. Clair County, they wouldn't be in jail. They'd be under the jail, and you know that. You people know what goes on. Their enemies, they screw. Their friends, the Joanne Reeds, the James Haywood, they give them probation, and then they wipe their record clean. That Haywood just got elected county board member and just got his record expunged. We're not stupid, people. We need to unite. Now, we've got this idiot here, Craig Wesley. I used to listen to 1430 and 1190. Then this Grim Reaper, Bob Romanik, came on. Words can't describe this man. Well, thank you very much for the compliment. I sincerely appreciate that. The last year was the St. Clair County Freedom Commission. It was coalition, you idiot. And we fought the fight. And if the election had been stolen, these asswipes, all these politically criminals, these politically inept criminals would have been out in St. Clair County, just like they're out in Madison County. And there's still other fight left in all of us, people. But he says here, this year it's the name, and it is the National Association for Majority Equality. The motto is, we will not ask for anything more than equal treatment, but we will not tolerate any less. And he calls that an Aryan race group. Now, see these idiots with Kern and Sprague, you know why these guys are mad? They're mad because somebody's exposed them. Bob Romanik, the Freedom Coalition, the National Association for Majority Equality, all these new groups, these groups fighting for equal rights. We've exposed these no-good son of a bitches, and they don't like to be exposed. I've been on the radio 6-7 years, and I've beat the hell out of them, and I'm going to continue. I'm your voice, people. This is not Bob Romanik speaking. This is a voice of the American people speaking. I go to restaurants, go everywhere. Thanks for saying what we can't say, Bob. And see, these good people could say it, but they've got jobs. They don't want to lose their jobs. They don't want to get in trouble. How the hell you get in trouble for exercising your First Amendment right in this great country? It happens all the time. I'm showing people that you can do it. Now, I've got some lumps. I've been knocked down, and I got right back up. I've been knocked down again, got right back up, and I'll continue to get right back up until they put a bullet in my head. And I don't mean politically, of course, because I do not give a damn. People, most people say they give a damn, don't give a damn, and they do give a damn. Bob Romanik will tell you, when I say I don't give a damn, I don't give a damn. So you idiots, come and get me any way you want. Kern and Sprague, I'm going to expose you asswipe bastards. If I do nothing else in my life, I'm going to make St. Clair County a better place to live, because I'm going to expose and embarrass and humiliate you bastards out of office. When you guys walk down the street, people laugh at you, Kern. People laugh at you, Sprague. I've exposed you. You're not big shots. You're little men behind the curtain, the Wizard of Oz syndrome. Separately, you guys aren't worth a damn. You abuse the poor blacks down in East St. Louis, and they fall for it every 4 years. And there's another 4 years. But anyway, Craig Wesley, you idiot, give me a call. And how can you or anyone call the National Association for Majority Equality a Aryan race group? That just shows you how big an idiot Kern and Sprague have around them. And see, they don't do any of their dirty work. They won't call. They won't send emails. They'll have somebody else do it. You've heard me when Bob Romanik throws a rock, I wave both my hands. These rotten bastards, these less than men, they hide their hands. Please end this. It's not entertainment. Well, you know what? What's junk to some person is treasure to another. So maybe you're not entertained, Craig Wesley. Why don't you go to a bathhouse? Maybe you can take Kern and go to a bathhouse. Maybe you guys can entertain each other, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. Will 2017 bring a Nazi group? Well, I don't know. Hell, it may bring whatever. That shows you how big of idiots. And I would tell you, ignorant bastard, just don't listen. But I must really be getting underneath these political idiots' skin. I must be, again, living in their head rent-free, because these guys don't know what to do with Bob Romanik. And not just Bob Romanik. All you good people out there, all you supporters, they know that there is a movement. It's not a racial movement. It's not even an economic movement. It's a civic movement. It's a patriotic civic movement to take our country back. Speaking of patriotic movement, starting Monday, I know there's some people that not going to be happy that we're not airing country music for a while. We're trying a new format. It's going to be St. Louis's Hot Talk 1190, The Patriot. And we're going to have good people on. We're going to have Glenn Beck. We're going to have Michael Savage. Going to have Bob Romanik. Going to have Laura Ingraham, unless we lose her to Trump and his communications secretary. And I don't know if that's going to happen. We're going to have Michael Savage, Kevin Slayton, Joe Pags, Jim Bohannon, and a lot more. We're going to be the most controversial station in the nation. You hear me? The most controversial station in the nation. We're going to take our First Amendment rights, and we're not going to exercise them for a couple hours like a person does with his body. Hey, I'm going to go exercise for a couple hours. We're going to exercise our freedom of speech 24/7. It's going to be hot. It's going to be so hot, you're going to think you're in hell. You hear me? It's going to be that hot, because we're not going to hold back. You know, Michael Savage doesn't hold back. Bob Romanik doesn't hold back. Kevin Slayton doesn't hold back. Glenn Beck, Laura Ingraham doesn't hold back. Joe Pags doesn't. It's going to be refreshing, people, because you're going to hear what needs to be said, and it's not going to be politically correct. It's probably not even going to be politically incorrect. It's going to be politically insanity, because that's what 1190 is going to be. St. Louis Hot Talk 1190, The Patriot. Talk so hot, you'll think you're in hell. That's our new motto. Talk so hot, you'll think you're in hell. And for you religious people, don't want to offend you. But isn't it amazing? Every time somebody says something, half the people are happy and half the people are sad. The election with Trump and Hillary. Half the people are happy, half the people are sad. So you can't please everybody. So you know what I say to that? All you got to do, and remember this, take it from Bob Romanik, all you got to do is please yourself. And Kern, I don't mean that way in the bathroom like I believe you normally do. I'm talking about please yourself as a person. Kern, what a complete idiot. The big faggot. Ever since I've used that word, I probably had 30 people come out of the woodwork, and come to find out they're Kern's friends. Kern doesn't have the guts to call. Kern doesn't have the guts to respond. Kern, will you respond? I'll still give you some money, you idiot, even though you should do it for nothing because you get paid by the good people of St. Clair County. And by the way, Kern, I'm going to challenge you. I wasn't going to take any money as a state representative. I'm going to challenge you not to take any money as a county board chairman. You idiot. You greedy bastard. You've got more money. Well, no, you don't. Your mother and father gave you all that money. This man's got millions of dollars. And then what he does, he's a county board chairman. And he's not doing it for the love of his country to try to help this county out. He's doing it for the prestige. He's doing it for the money. St. Clair County board members, including Mark the big faggot Kern, cost taxpayers, the hardworking taxpayers of St. Clair County, over $500,000 last year for their Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund and health insurance benefits. Do you understand that, people? These are all part-time jobs. Every one of these county board members, once a month. And all they do is bobblehead. They don't even need to be at the county board meeting. $500,000 for part-time positions, for pensions, and for health benefits, not just for them, but for their family. And we're going to get into that momentarily. By comparison, Madison County board members cost their taxpayers only $40,000. $40,000 a year, people. The county's the same size, about 260,000 people in each of the counties. How the hell can St. Clair County, under the debacle, failed leadership of Mark the Big Faggot Kern and Bob, I'd rather piss in my pants than piss in a urinal Sprague, $500,000 as opposed to $40,000. What's wrong with that picture, people? You know what's wrong. It's political corruption. It's economic corruption. It's criminal corruption. But we keep letting them do it year after year. Kern's been there 12 years. Kern, I challenge you not to take a salary, not to take any benefits, and I will challenge all the county board members, which are primarily Democrat. Why the hell should you? I wonder, somebody call me if you're an attorney or you know, can we put on a referendum to make sure that the county board members don't get insurance and don't get pensions? Now, the salary's bad enough, the $25,000 a year. The salary's bad enough for doing nothing. I think it's $25,000 or $35,000 a year. See, they don't put that in. This is not in the $500,000. This is just their benefits. I would challenge every county board member. It's a part-time, once-a-month position. The salary's bad enough. That's a hell of a part-time job, $35,000 plus a year for one meeting a month, for about a half hour a month. I would challenge all the board members to vote down pensions and health insurance for the part-time employees. Now, do you guys know, here's the biggest thing, these attorneys, they put them in the state's attorney's office. Kern has them working for the county. All these big Democrats, if you check, they're all on the county payroll. Now, they don't make much money. I've had a friend, I know it happened. I had a friend tell me, him and his whole law firm, a couple of them did public defender work, a couple of them did work for the county, a couple of them worked in the state's attorney's office part-time, writing grants or looking over all these legal things, and there's not much to do. They were all hired by the county. They didn't give a damn about the salary. It was a $900, $1000, $1,100 a month health benefits that everybody gets for them and their family. If an attorney comes in there and works one day a month, he gets complete health insurance for him and his family. You good people of St. Clair County, you don't get it. It's been going on forever. When are we going to put a stop to it? There's people out there not eating, people trying to get jobs. And St. Clair County is using this, and that's how they get elected. They give these people jobs. They give committeemen jobs. Committeemen's ass is on the line if they don't get them 200-300 votes. And Sprague and Kern, I bet you they don't care how they get the votes down there. They don't go down there and get their hands dirty. And isn't it stupid of the good people of East St. Louis? You people live in squalor. You heard me. You live in squalor. You live in the ghetto. And you have control of the whole county, and you give it up to these bastards that disrespect you, then you're as big as idiot as they are. You guys sit down there. Don't call me. I've had people call me yesterday. Want to know if I donate to their Christmas fund when they get turkeys and hams. And you know what I told them? Hell no. And you know how bad that hurt me? Because I really wanted to do it. But let Kern and let Sprague and let all these asswipe bastards that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars off the backs of the proud black community, let them give $25,000. Let them bury the poor blacks down there. Let them give fans when they're burning up down there. Bob Romanik's tired. I'm tired of giving. And I don't want to receive personally, people. We tried to do something for St. Clair County. But you see what happens. Kern and the county board members, think about it as you're drinking your coffee. $500,000 a year when Madison County is only $40,000. That should piss you people off in this county. And again, if there can be some kind of referendum, why should part-time positions have full health insurance and pension insurance, pension benefits? Why, people? Because we sit there and let them do it. We sit there and let them do it. And you want to talk about asswipe bastards, and it's not a black-white thing, but I got to say, what I say about protesters, give me 10 blacks rather than 100 whites, because they'll get out there for the cause. I see a picture here in the Post, about 200 people stop the traffic on Hampton Avenue in St. Louis because they want $15 an hour. Some of these idiots aren't worth $5 an hour. And I'm not talking about the hard workers out there that are making minimum wage. I'm talking about all these asswipe bastards, both black and white, who sit there at these convenience stores, who sit at these fast food stores. You never get a right order. They don't even want to talk to you. They're back there flirting. The young kids are back there flirting with each other. And they want $15 an hour? Go out and get a job. Go out and get a real job. These jobs were never meant. These minimum wage jobs were never meant to support a family. It was for students. It was for retirees who want a little extra money. Hell, there's police officers in the Metro East that don't make $15 an hour. But I got to say, see this picture? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see about 75 blacks and I see about 3 white faces. And I got to say, these guys want $15 an hour. Hell, they're not going to have a job because the bastards are going to go to jail. Why do they think when they can protest in this great country, we've got every right to protest, to demonstrate. But there's nothing in the Constitution that says we have every right to break the law. These ignorant bastards are sitting on the street, stopping traffic. You know, some big, well, I won't say that. But they're sitting right there in the street. They're smiling and yelling and screaming. I wouldn't want to hire one of these bastards, let alone give them $15 an hour. Folks are trying to survive on $7.65 an hour, and that's simply not enough. Said a clergyman who joined those who were arrested. Well, hey, clergyman, take some of that money that you get in the coffers and the till on Sunday, quit driving your cataract, and quit living out of the area that you preach in, and you give some money back. I hate these son of a bitches that always want to tell you to give, and they give crap. Here's Kern coming up at Christmas time. They'll have gifts from the heart. Everybody will have to come and honor Kern by giving him a Christmas present for the kids down below the hill. Kern won't spend a penny of his money, and if he does spend money, it'll be his political money. But he'll take those presents down below the hill, and he'll smile, and he'll give them a present. He's doling out those toys. How disrespectful is that? If I'm a proud black man, I tell you, hey, Kern, take that toy and shove it up your ass. I don't want your charity. It's unbelievable, people, but it happens. But $15 an hour. Jamar Morris says he wants $15 an hour. Javin Good, now here's Javin Hood, 18 years old, was among the protesters. He lives in Florissant with his mother. He makes $8 an hour at Subway. $15 an hour would give me a chance to move out and go to California. What do these people think, that they're owed something? And I say these people, I don't just mean black people. I mean white people. I mean all these undeserving, low-life, do-nothing idiots, both black and white. But they want to fight for $15 an hour. Now, if these asswipes at McDonald's, and I don't mean all the people, because there's good people in every business setting. But you know, you go to the convenience store, you get crap service. They're really smart to you. You go to McDonald's, I don't go there anymore, but when I used to, years back, they didn't give a damn about you. They didn't give a damn. They just want to make some more money. But I guess we're going to have to pay $8 an hour, $8 a hamburger if they're going to make $15 an hour. And people, you understand that. But they don't care. They want more money. This one black gal says on TV, I deserves more. Well, how the hell do you deserve more if all you're doing is flipping a burger? Go out, get you a good education, and don't tell me black or white, you idiots out there that always got your hand out. You can get an education if you want it. The opportunity's there. You heard me all the time. The opportunity is always there. If you don't take that opportunity, then that's on you. But these people are in jail now because these idiot brain surgeons, most of them aren't worth $5 an hour. But they're going to sit there and they're going to protest. And I say, get a good job, get a good education, which equates to a good salary. She says she deserves $15 an hour, to be honest. With the bad service that these fast food restaurants get, you know, they don't deserve $15 an hour. People, we have to start taking responsibility for what we do. This Trump situation, you know, the white people come out of the woodwork to elect Trump. That's why a lot of the blacks are pissed. They don't want a white. Hey, I never heard anybody say, hey, I want a white president this last time. But that makes me a racist? You white people, you better stand up and ask for equal treatment. I will not support you asking for better treatment. I will not support you asking for more treatment, preferential treatment, but I will support you to my dying breath, your right to have equal treatment. Now, if that makes me a racist, if that makes us the Aryan nation, the white supremacist, then I guess I'm all of those. Because I'm for everybody. I'm for the blacks having equal treatment. I fought for the blacks. I've been fighting for the blacks when I think they're right for the last 7 years. I fought for the whites when I thought they were right for the last 7 years. But I'll be damned as a proud white man. I'm going to be scared. I'm going to be ashamed. You see the NAACP. You see black people walk around with Malcolm X shirts, with all kind of different black group shirts. Black Lives Matter. Whites just keep their mouth shut. You put something out, White Lives Matter, and you're a racist. You have a white organization, and you're a racist. No, that's not right, people. And I'm telling that to all my proud black friends. And if that pisses you off, then you weren't my friend. If it pisses you off, you're not very intelligent. And if it pisses you off, you're not very fair. All I want is fair and equal treatment, not just as a proud white man, as a citizen of this great United States of America. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ, 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ, 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ, 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ, 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. You talk about integrity, which Kern and Sprague have none of. And we don't talk a lot of national politics, but we're going to start talking a little bit more. Trump is considering Mitt Romney for Secretary of State. Now, this no-good asswipe son of a bitch called Trump everything but a white man during the election. Talks about Romney, he's a man of integrity. He's a man of conscience. When Trump asked him if he had considered being Secretary of State or he was under consideration, this asswipe Romney should have said, hey, I wasn't for you before. I said you were a charlatan, a thief, a no-good son of a bitch. I said that before, and I'll say it again, because that's what a man would do. But Romney has no integrity. He's met with Trump 2 or 3 times. And this bastard will sell his... See, that's what's wrong, people, with these politicians. They'll give their wife up to you to get elected. They live for politics. But now this Romney, a man of integrity, a man of conscience, is considering being the Secretary of State under a man who he talked about like a dog. But that's what you get in politics, people. You get these slimy... They talk about Bob Romanik being a bad guy. You get these slimy, greasy son of a bitches. They don't run our country, they ruin our country. And it's not going to get any better until we make it better. But Trump also, now I don't believe it's constitutional, but I love the thought. Donald Trump wants punishment for flag burners. I think a flag burner should have his ass whipped, and I don't mean politically, of course, and I'm not a violent person, but it just pisses me off. But see, they're protected. They're protected under the same rights we are, the First Amendment rights. They take the rights that guys, that brave military heroes, men and women, have died for to give us that right, and they twist it and turn it and use it against us. But I like Trump. He says they should go to jail for burning the flag. It's never going to happen because of our great First Amendment. But I say on that end too, Kern and Sprague, again, you're not worried about people burning flags, disrespecting this country. You're worried about Bob Romanik. You're worried about stopping his speech because he's exposing you and yours day in and day out. Well, it's not going to happen, Kern. It's not going to happen, Sprague. I'm not going to let you disrespect those proud military heroes that gave their lives so all of us can speak free and can live free, so you guys can kiss my red, white, and blue, hairy, wrinkled, stinky, old ass. But they're on Trump's ass about this. Nobody should be allowed to burn the flag in America, Trump said, and I agree with that. I agree with that totally. Trump tweeted that Congress is unlikely to move on the issue of flag burning. We have a First Amendment constitutional right, but that doesn't mean we don't have the right to hate the son of a bitches that disrespect our country. Speaking of disrespecting our country, Kern, you and Sprague and the asswipe democratic culture of corruption, you guys have disrespected this county time and time again. Allegiant to increase, Allegiant Airline, one of the most unsafe airlines in the country, because they buy the planes that are used from the good airlines that say, hey, we don't want to fly these planes anymore. They're not real safe. They're not real safe. So Allegiant to increase summer flights from Mid-America Airport. Now, Kern, you complete idiot. If Mid-America was such a great airport to fly in and out of, don't you think, and people, don't you think that the safe, the prosperous, the big airlines would be lining up to fly out of Mid-America Airport? We're giving up so much. We're giving up so much to get that Allegiant airline in here. It's a failed airport. It's a failed airline. Allegiant can't go anywhere else. They're talking about having more flights out, 200% expansion of Allegiant service. Why do you think? Because no reputable airport, no reputable city would put their citizens in danger of flying on a less than totally safe airlines. Allegiant Airline, if they were that good, they wouldn't be at Mid-America. They'd be all over the place. They'd be in St. Louis. They'd be in the big hubs. So you people, you got to think about it. And all Kern wants to do is shore up the image of that airport. He wants to see people going in and out. He wants to see activity. Well, that activity doesn't equate to money. That activity doesn't equate to money for the coffers of the good people of St. Clair County who have put out $15 million a year for 20 years, cost us $500 million. They want to make a good show. No, if there's a good show, we should be paid for that show. It's costing us, for every person that goes through that airport, people, and you've heard me before, they go out of town, they spend their money out of town, they spend their money in Destin, they spend their money in Fort Myers and Tampa, St. Pete, Las Vegas. Why do you think these towns subsidize this asswipe airlines? Because they want to bring people to their towns. Kern is facilitating taking people and money out of St. Clair County. Don't you people understand that? That airport would be better off if it was totally vacant. We wouldn't be losing a lot of money to other cities and other states. The people would be spending their money here. But Kern doesn't give a damn. The airport director, Tim Cantwell, he doesn't give a damn. He makes more money as long as he brings people to the airport, puts seats in the house. Seats in the house should equate to money for St. Clair County, for the hardworking taxpayers of St. Clair County, people. But it doesn't. It doesn't. That airline keeps going, and think about it as you're drinking your hot cup of coffee this morning. Do you think that if this airport, Mid-America, the debacle, failed Mid-America Airport was a great location, You don't think that the big airlines would be knocking down the doors to come in? There's nobody but Allegiant Airline. And you read it. I read it to you. It was in all the papers. One of the most unsafe. I tell you, Kern, and I hope there never is, I hope I'm wrong on this one, and I hope this is the only thing, and it will be the only thing I'll be wrong about. I hope there's never a crash for one of these unsafe planes flying out of mid-America. Because if so, the blood of every one of those people will be on your hands, Kern. Because you don't give a damn. You're like Eckert. You're like the big pussy, Maximus Vaginus Mark Eckert. If he had any guts, if he was a man, he'd say, hey, people of Belleville, it's not safe. And I would agree with him if he'd say it's not totally my fault. And it's not totally his fault. It's the administration before him, Kern's fault. Belleville is dead, people. It's terminally ill. Now, they can try to shore it up for another year or two, but it's on life support. Everybody knows that. But Kern, if you think that you're okey-fadoking and conning the people of St. Clair County, well, you are conning them. You're totally wrong. We know what's going on with that airport. These increased frequencies planned for the summer of 2017 further enhance the opportunity for people to fly from mid-America, and we look forward to adding more destinations in the future. That's Cantwell. Well, sure. Let's take more people out of St. Clair County. Let's let these people spend their money somewhere else because it's really not safe. It's not safe in St. Clair County. So that's probably the only good thing. But when you fly on an airline that has in-flight problems time after time after time, and you get people flying out of mid-America, see, what's going to happen now, Kern is going to be like Eckert. When that airport is finally shut down, because it's never going to make any money, it's going to be because of Bob Romanik. It's going to be because of the naysayers who exposed the airport, like the Hoff Brewhouse in Belleville. This asswipe Keller is blaming me, Alderman Mike Bittner, and a few others for criticizing. Well, we can criticize here on the air. We can criticize out on the street all day long. That shouldn't stop the construction at the Hoff Brewhouse. It's going to be 2 years out. People drive by that. Go by the shrine and look to your right as you're going into East St. Louis, heading west. That thing's been sitting there. They have one or two people on the outside so that it looks like they're doing some work, just like Kern has people in the airport, like it's a big money maker. You know, the more people doesn't mean more money, Kern. At the end of each year, we know we're out $12 to $15 million year after year. So you can say what you want. You can prop up the Allegiant airline. But before we go, people, understand what I say. If it was a good airport, a successful airport, an airport that was going to eventually be profitable, you don't think the big airlines would be here? They can't get anybody. And they give Allegiant free landing. We get nothing from Allegiant. We actually pay for their advertising, people. We pay for their advertising. Hell, if I'm Allegiant, hell, I'd move to Belleville. It's a debacled airlines using and facilitating a debacled airport, the Mid-America Airport. We all know that. The people in St. Clair County, you can say what you want, Kern, Sprague, Cantwell. You're not okey-fadoking us. We've got a caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Good morning, Bob. I've got your 6 on this airport thing. I want to say something about flag burning after that real quick. Number one, you said no reputable community. And because we have shown time and time again that we're allowing people like Mark Kern and Mark Eckert and Bob Sprague, all these corrupt Democrats to continue to hold the reins of power, even if they're getting it by cheating, we should be marching en masse with pitchforks and torches to that courthouse. And we're not. We're sitting back like a bunch of pussies, rolling over and letting them have their way with us. So there's the first peg. We're not a reputable community anymore. So that's one reason they're getting away with Allegiant and Mid-America Airport. Number two, before anybody calls you or challenges you and says that they're taking money out of St. Clair County or Belleville and going and spending it somewhere else, you're absolutely right. Maybe we're not a vacation destination. However, a lot of the people who are getting on those airplanes wouldn't be going at all if the rates weren't so cheap. Those are people who can't afford to pay the high-priced or the higher-priced Southwest rates and fares. So, yes, I'd say at least 75% of the money that's being spent on these vacations taken on Allegiant would be kept in this county if it wouldn't be for those low suicide rates. About flag burning.
I like that suicide rate. You know what they call it? Staycations instead of vacations. I don't know why people, but you know why people, and I got to say, I would probably take a vacation if I ever did out of this area because I don't feel safe in this area. They don't provide nothing in St. Clair County. It's kind of a catch-22, honey. I mean, if you go out of the state, the money's going with you. If you stay in the state, hell, you're liable to get it stolen. In the county, you're liable to get it stolen from you.
Sadly, that's true. About the flag burning, I say let's Al Capone them. I don't want to see anybody's First Amendment rights go up in smoke. And under certain administrations, I am angry not at the country or at the Constitution, but at the idiots that keep putting these tyrants in power. So I can become disgruntled as an American, but with the electorate, not with the Constitution. So, okay, fine, let them burn their flags. But you know what? We don't have to get them for flag burning. I guarantee they're not going out there like little grandmothers to water their daisies just to burn the flag real quietly and politely and go back in the house not to be seen for a day or two or three. They are disturbing the peace. They are destroying public and private property. They are a threat to anybody who gets in their way. We've all seen the tapes of how they beat people up, they shoot cops. God only knows what they're capable of doing. Let them burn their flags, but get them on everything else you can. They're serving themselves up on the silver platter, and the law enforcement, because they've been hamstrung by the Justice Department, walks by and says, nothing to see here, when they know there is.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Thanks for the call, honey. They don't see anything because nobody will back the police departments anymore. Nobody will back these policemen. Hell, when I was in East St. Louis policemen, we went out and we got the criminals off the street. Anymore, if I see something going on, and I know I'm not going to get back, I'm not going to get in a shootout because the policemen get in trouble. And that's a shame because these police officers are out there putting their lives on the line every day. Lines are always open. We are America's voice of freedom, definitely the Patriot. You can call toll-free 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of radio. Go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling for the best of all of our radio stations. You can listen to my repeat performance every day, Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock p.m. and now broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night at the stroke of midnight. Please like us on Facebook at KQQZ 1190 AM or KZQZ 1430 AM. You can go to my personal Facebook page, Fans of the Grim Reaper, and we're fighting the fight day in and day out, the patriotic movement of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition on Facebook. We'll also have NAME, the National Association for Majority Equality, will be on Facebook here shortly. It's going to be a movement for equality for everyone. Everyone ought to jump on board. Black, white, men, women, Democrats, and Republicans. We got to go. Tomorrow will be a better day for everybody, people. But remember, in this great country of ours, we have the right to speak free. We have the right to live free. We have the right to move free. So let's take all of our constitutional rights. Let's put them all together. Let's work together to make this country better. If everyone would get involved in the political process, if everyone would get involved in doing something for your community, if everyone would get involved in getting rid of these ass-wipe, rotten bastard, no-count, good-for-nothing, lousy, rotten, low-life, bottom-feeding, son-of-a-bitch and political parasitical punks that we call politicians, what a great country this would be. So let's continue that fight. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, very proud to be the Patriot. Come on back tomorrow. We'll continue our journey of 1,000 miles that starts with a single step, and we've taken step after step. We, not black, we, not white, we, Americans. Let's continue to unite. Don't let that divide us. The good people unite and get rid of these ass-white bastards that's trying to destroy our great country. So let's continue to unite to expose these rotten bastard political punks. And as you know, at some point in time, it's coming. Like the sun sets and the sun rises, it's inevitable, it's coming. We will destroy this political corruption in St. Clair County. We'll destroy them once and for all. Politically, of course, right here on the dark side.